Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? We're back. Good to see everybody. Some new people that's here. Okay, here we have Heather. We have Gravel. Everybody, welcome everybody.
Hello.
Make sure everybody's unmuted because we always have that habit of not unmuting. Everyone on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. And tonight is our 150th episode. So what a celebration. So thankful everybody's with us. And tonight we are streaming for the first time on Kick. So we're so good to see and hear everybody. We got a good show for you tonight. A good show for you tonight. We're going to go in to watch some live action that's going on the streets of different states and see what's going to happen. What is going to happen after curfew? Because there's too many people out there. Are they going to run? No, their ass is going to stay there. And in California, we've already seen it too many times that when the sun goes down, that's when they come out to play.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these people? But before we get into that, we're going to jump into this horrible action took place today. This is it's just got to be like early this morning. Two senators. Minnesota Representative Hortman and husband killed, and then Senator Hoffman and the wife wounded in a politically motivated, heinous crime. This is just horrible.
I think we have a video for that.
Yes, let's play the video of Miss Hoffman at her last meeting and what she voted on. And a lot of her Democrat friends were quite upset with her ending vote.
Be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
DFL Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman emotional following the House's adjournment from a special session Monday. Hortman was the lone DFL lawmaker to cast a vote to cut Minnesota Care access for undocumented immigrants. It's a move she made with a heavy heart.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
The bill was deeply unpopular with members of the DFL caucus. Members have repeatedly expressed frustration that the bill was part of a compromise, one that would ensure the necessary GOP votes to pass the rest of the state budget.
We are tremendously disappointed and gut-wrenched at this decision, at this compromise that compromises our communities that are most vulnerable.
Hortman knows she let down her own caucus members with the vote.
They're right to be mad at me. I think some of them are pretty angry. I think that their job is to make folks who voted for that bill feel like crap, and I think that they succeeded.
Over in the Senate, a similar situation unfolded. Senate Majority Leader Erin Murphy forced to vote for a bill she too disagreed with to uphold the integrity of their compromise.
This one hurt. This one is a wound because of its reason. My colleagues across the aisle set this as their number one priority.
Asked whether the move would drive a wedge between her and the rest of her caucus, her DFL colleague, Senator John Marty, quickly stepped to her defense.
As a member of the caucus, yes, sir, she clearly was fighting against it every step of the way. In the negotiations, if we wanted a budget, we had to agree to that. She agreed to put one vote for us because of that.
Reporting in St. Paul.
So what would drive someone to do this? I mean, we're talking about politics on today of all days as well. But let's dive a little bit further. CNN had come out with an analyst that knows a bit more about it, and now they know exactly who the manhunt is for.
Site. What we're told from law enforcement sources briefed on the investigation is that there are a cache of additional weapons inside that car, indicating that the suspect was loaded for additional targets, possible confrontations with law enforcement or security, a large amount of ammunition. In an ammunition bag, they found a Father's Day card, presumably addressed to the suspect. But there is also this manifesto which lays out his issues. And on top of that, a very, very long list of names, approximately 70 names. This includes numerous state legislators from Minnesota, but it also includes other elected officials, a couple of mayors. It includes other places in Minnesota, including medical clinics, abortion providers, pro-life advocates, and it includes some locations and individuals from out of state. What does that tell us? It poses the question of what was the ultimate game plan? Was it to continue to get through this list, to go as far down with as many attacks or assassinations as possible until he was stopped by police? What we know now is that at his first location, he did his first attack in the pre-dawn hours of the morning in the darkness, that preemptively police went to the second location where the nearest other elected state official was and ran straight into the suspect. The Brooklyn Park, Minnesota police exchanged shots with the individual, which caused him to flee towards the house and then into the darkness. But that also made him leave that car, all of that evidence, and potentially part of his plan behind. Now, with the idea that they exchanged gunfire, the fact that he was described as wearing a tactical vest, probably body armor, likely bullet resistant, he may be wounded, or the vest may have deflected that, but he is with whatever weapons he had on him, without a vehicle, and still theoretically on the move somewhere in that area that he could have gotten by foot, or perhaps called an associate or a friend to pick him up. So that hunt is still extraordinarily intense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? And it happened like the wee hours of the morning. And I think we have a picture of him and the manhunt that is going on.
Tactics that might separate him from a typical person walking down the street.
Yes, so the question was regarding the sophistication of the individual based on reports that he owned a security company. I certainly can't get into the details of the investigation. That'll all be part of that. We'll explore all of that. We're aware of the connections that you reference, and the team will be dissecting that between the investigators, Brooklyn Park Police Department, and all of the state, the local, and federal partners that are working on that. Certainly, an individual will have some familiarity if that's the line of work that they're in with some of the tactics that you noted, but we'll be exploring that more fully.
One question about the photo that we're seeing in the cowboy hat and the jacket. Is that photo taken today?
That photo is today.
And is it from a ring camera at the residence of either of our lawmakers?
The question is it from a Ring camera? It's not. This is from a business. So this is at a business location. And there, we believe, as noted, that we believe he's was still in at this time. He was in the Twin Cities area, and that we are continuing to work and follow up on that. We believe he's working to potentially flee the area, and so that's why we're sharing that with that information now, so that we can safely apprehend him.
Is there a way that you're in touch with the TSA? I know Governor Walz has been in contact with federal agents, as you have mentioned with the FBI.
Yeah.
Are airlines, seeing his pictures so he doesn't board a plane?
So the question is, are we in contact with TSA? We've been in contact with all of the federal authorities that are relevant to this investigation. We will continue to be.
Are you able to share the time or location that photo was taken today?
The question is, can I share the time and location? This was this morning when this was taken. It was in the city of Minneapolis. That's at this point, I think, all that we can share as we work to follow up on that.
Are there any surveillance or ring camera video from either of the residents where the shooting take place?
The question is, there's surveillance or ring camera. We do have various video from different locations. I don't want to get into specifics as part of the active investigation, but there is video that has been obtained by the investigators.
Can you talk about some of the other locations that you guys are working on? Green Isle, maybe Green Isle, Fremont, and
So, yeah, we can. The question is, can we talk about some of the other locations? Because their teams are very active as part of an active investigation, I can't talk about the specifics. What I will tell you is the two locations you noted in Minneapolis and in Green Isle, they are related to this investigation and the follow-up that the teams are doing.
I'm going to give Ellen, I'm sorry, we're going to give it to Ellen, and then we're going to have one more question.
Can you talk a little bit more about the manifesto and what kind of motivation it might be doing? We're told that there might be some pro-choice lawmakers on this manifesto, and that has anything to do with the motivation here?
At this point in time, it'd be premature. The question was, is the manifesto and the information that we have received, is their motivations? We are working diligently on that. There's certainly some indications within that, but there's not specifics enough. We have been, this is a very active and fluid investigation. Throughout the day, as you've been waiting and these teams have been out working out in the field, and they have been gathering more documents and information. So it would be premature for me at this point to really say exactly what the motivation might be from these writings, but we will be continuing to work on that and provide that information when we're able.
Mr. Walker Senior from the search committee. Do you have a sense, did they know each other? Like, did this man know either Senator Corman or Senator Hoffman in any capacity?
The question is, do they know each other in any capacity? We are still exploring that. There's certainly some overlap with some, public meetings, I will say, with Senator Hoffman and the individual, but we don't know the nature of the relationship or if they actually knew each other.
All right, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
I said public meetings. Well, one step further is we went digging a little bit. Tim Walz had came in earlier and he had spoke and he said that he believed this was politically a political assassination is what he had called it. But actually at one point, Walz actually appointed him, Vance Bolter, the gentleman they're looking for, appointed him to be a part of his business member, Governor's Workforce Development Board in 2019 and 2023. He also worked with the governor of Minnesota as well. So I believe this is going to be quite interesting because here you got Walz already going out and saying, well, this is a politically assassinated. How did you know that? How did you know it had anything to do with politics? How did you know that it had one thing? I mean, common sense sometimes, would tell you that it has things to do with politics. But at the same time, what if this was just a protester? What if this was a disgruntled friend or something? I'm curious to find out, and I'm going to have to do a deep dive. I haven't checked to see if any more news has come out. How did they know each other like he's saying? He said that they had public meetings. Now, public meetings could be many different things. Was there personal meetings that they're calling public? Because you wouldn't know if it's a personal meeting if they were just seen out in public. Now, I'm not pushing that narrative. I'm just saying we don't know. We just don't know. But we know we need to pray for the families, the ones that are still alive, because it's going to be a difficult situation for them. And he had a list of 70 other individuals he was going to go after. He was, man, that's a scary situation. Gravel, what do you have to add to this that you might
just that yeah, it was a little quick to assume that it was a political attack. I mean I could say, or a politically motivated attack. Initially, the thought was that this guy was MAGA when they didn't even know the guy's name because
right.
And then it turns out that he actually worked for Walz on this board for 4 years. It was from 2019 to 2023. I don't know. There's some folks out there saying he was MAGA, and it was a bipartisan panel. But it's hard. I think it's too early to say whether this guy was a right-leaning guy or a left-leaning guy.
Yeah.
The one thing though that.
The No Kings.
Well, it was her no vote. And
her
that
what?
no vote, her
no vote.
Her no vote was to because they were trying to pass some state budgetary bill
for health care for illegals.
Correct. And she was a no vote in that she said, I will pass the budget, but I will not pass this portion of the budget and she said it herself. She said, I'm here to support the people of Minnesota. And, when I had seen parts of that interview that you played, but I can't tell if she was sad or scared. when she made that press conference.
Well,
You know what I mean?
many people that when I found that on YouTube and I posted it early this morning, I've gotten so much feedback from it of people saying that she seems to be terrified because she didn't make it. And okay, as a woman, we sometimes wear our fear on the outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she seemed to be like she knew there was going to be consequences. Does that make sense? She acted as though that she knew there was going to be consequences, but she didn't know what would it be. Now we could be just everybody say y'all conspiracy theorists, but that I understand that, you know, you have your constituents, you have the people you work with, and they're pretty tight Democrats, but Democrats are cutthroat. I'm just going to go there. They're cut fucking throat. If you do abide by and go along with their narrative and agree to it, there are consequences. There's consequences.
Right.
There's no understanding. There's no working it out. There's no, okay, you have a First Amendment right. You have a Second Amendment right. We believe in the Constitution. You are here to take care of the American people, and your vote is your vote. No. People in these seats own other congressmen's vote because either they have something on them, blackmail, or they put fear in them, or they pay for it. That's a damn fact. So she acted like a woman who was quite terrified because she knew. Now, if she knew there was going to be repercussions, maybe she didn't know the extent of what it would be. But if she knew there was going to be repercussions, what would have made her stand her ground at this point?
Her constituents.
Yeah.
Over any other time.
Well, I think it's probably because, I mean, it could be any number of reasons, but maybe it's because she had guilt gut.
Very true. I mean, she kind of, you know, we could be completely off base, but maybe she was coming to a point of a head and being like, wait a minute, I see what's happening to our country. I see how we're overwhelmed, and I see I can't do this anymore. You know, maybe her conscience got the best of her.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, really, when you look at it, you know, actually, Heather, go ahead. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, no, I think that when I say that about the guilt gut is, you know, I remember it from a TV show or a movie or something like that where they called it guilt gut. Seventh Heaven, they called it guilt gut, right? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
And I always think back to that. It's this childlike guilt that sits in your stomach, and maybe she reached a point in her life where she couldn't stand that. Most politicians stuff that shit down, and they're like, I'm done. I don't care. You know, the $500,000 I'm getting is I can eat the guilt gut, no problem. But maybe she had a conscience and she just couldn't take it. She just couldn't take it anymore. I guess that's my general.
Well, no, that
she came
great
back
point.
to morality. She came back to or maybe she never left it, but she was determined, I would say, to stay on her moral high ground in a good way. She's like, look, I'm not gonna because remember, every district, and even though it's the state, not federal, but they have their group. I mean, she could have been getting heat from her own constituents that are like, hey, I'm not paying. I don't want my state taxpayer dollars going to people who are here illegally. And if you do, we'll vote you out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And the other lady in the video was talking about that same type of thing. Those two women, to me, had tears in their eyes. And
yes,
not something that, not fake tears, but like true worry tears. And so I think that there's probably something to that they just couldn't take it anymore.
Did it
gone too far for them?
Or did it seem as though that the ladies were upset because they knew they were going against their party and they got close? Because people get close with their coworkers, you know, and they've been there some of these people have been there for 40 years, but they haven't. But then you heard at the end of that first video, you heard at the end that one of the constituents turned over and he said, we just needed her to use that one vote.
Yeah.
That was a key
I
thing
don't
I
know.
heard. It
I don't
say.
know if it was. I don't know if it was. It's almost like she felt guilty because she had to go against her party.
Right.
And that would be a tough party to belong to. I mean, you know, it's
Cool
like,
idea.
you know, I mean, look at what happened with Tulsi. I mean, they put her on a no-fly list for crying out loud. RFK Jr.'s family like tore him apart. You know, I mean, when you leave those people, the funny thing is, honestly, they say we're in a cult. They're the cult. Because if you leave them, or like a gang or something, I mean, like you're not getting out. You know?
And they
Their
tell
own cartel.
They tell on themselves. They say that we're that way, but I swear, every time I hear the retort bullcrap come out of their mouth, they are speaking about themselves. Are they that delusional that they really project? That's projection. That's what they're doing. They're deflecting and projecting. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
Like, it's not me, it's you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well, you know what's scary about it? The first person that was shot, it was the guy and his wife.
Right.
There's pictures. I'm assuming they're him, but he had like a police car. So I'm like, how did he get a police car? You know, it was not like an undercover vehicle. It had like a town name on it. It had lights and sirens. It was like a black and white.
Right.
He had all the. He kind of looked like a SWAT team guy, and that first couple, they get the knock on the door. They're thinking it's a cop. They open the door, and I hate to say it like this, but he blasted both of them.
Yeah.
And then took off, and then he went, and they were the ones that were injured. Then he took off, and what they're reporting right now is that some cop had an instinct that something was up.
Really?
And they didn't actually make a 911 call or anything. One of the cops that was on the scene of the first shooting decided to go check on the other shooting, and when they got there, he was still there, as was pointed out in the video you played. They exchanged gunfire. But
Okay. Now, they said that they just wanted to go check. Now, had there already been a crime committed and gunshots heard and everything at the other scene, or was this, I need to go check on them before they ever even knew there was a gunshot?
It was after the first shot. It was after the first couple was shot. That
Right.
was the middle.
But they didn't hear the second shot, right? They just thought, well, I'll go check.
That's a great question, because if you take, I'm like, well, how did they know just to run over to that congresswoman's house? Coupled with the fact that Walz immediately came out and said, this is a political motive. This is a political execution. How did they know all this within like 3 hours of the whole incident?
And they need those seats now.
Right.
They need those seats now.
Democrats, though.
Because you got people that are, going against their party. And so now you get rid of the 2 seats, and then they're going to put who they want in there, what have you. And then how you have it, then they'll have control of the narrative again. Because when people go against mob rule, let's just say that, we've seen what they do. We have seen so much of the stuff that they do that it's absolutely it's terrifying. It's just terrifying. But a lot of things go on.
Yeah, it is terrifying, and the thing is that with this all tying into the No Kings, what's even more terrifying is how much more of this occurred that we haven't even heard about yet.
Right, and that's going to trickle out a little bit at a time. But Tim seemed pretty shaken up, which here that's people he's worked with and stuff, but I don't know. I just got a feeling that there's a whole lot more to this, and
yeah, exactly. And I think that the cops put out an immediate advisory, and they said, look, they were telling the residents of basically Minnesota statewide, they said the only time you're to open a door for a cop is if there's 2 of them, and if you have any doubts, don't open the door, call 911.
Right.
And then regarding the No King stuff, I actually got in an argument or a debate call it a debate on TikTok. Somebody made a comment when I put this video out, the one that kind of timed what everything you guys have just said, put it all together. I had a Democrat come up and he goes, well, he's just a suspect. And I'm like, no. I'm like, he said two things. He said, we don't know that he did it. He said that was thing number one. He said thing number two, because I mentioned, I said, you realize now the No Kings rally or in the entire state of Minnesota are being canceled.
Well,
and he, so that was the original video. So then I get the comment back. He goes, well, you're innocent until proven guilty, so on and so forth. And then he said, no rallies have been canceled. So then I had to go make another video. And I said, look, dude, I'm not the one saying this. The cop said this. You know what I mean? And let me show you something here on Blue Sky. One of your big, they call them Indivisible. They're one of the bigger party organizers of these rallies.
Right.
They said they're canceling all their stuff in Minnesota. Shut that guy up pretty quick. Sorry to be frank.
Well, to that point, right? Invisible was one of the organizations that was on the Zoom calls I participated in. Remember, so, but to that point, there were supposed cancellations all over the country from various states. But Minnesota, from what I'm seeing thus far, unless somebody else has additional info that I'm not seeing, they're still protesting there. They're still protesting in Florida. Like the cancellation, I think is kind of a cop out.
Yeah.
You know, this is another way for us to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Well, just like MAGA ordering, they actually have websites set up with MAGA attire. For you to order, for liberals to order, truthfully.
Right.
They've set it up for the liberals to order, and they are laughing and cutting up. Let's dress up like a MAGA Trump supporter, and let's make everybody think that we are them. Look, you're just pulling a page out of Antifa's book. That's all you're doing, bud. You're just pulling a page out of January 6th Antifa's freaking book.
Heather, I agree 100% with what you said. What I think the way Indivisible looked at it, they said, look, we're no longer sponsoring this because that could end up being a liability on us. That doesn't mean to say though that the protesters themselves aren't going to show up and protest.
right.
It's just Indivisible said, we're not going to sponsor this.
It was a way for them to distance themselves, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Because we knew full well that stuff's going to pop off, especially in Minnesota, right? And that's a way for them to distance themselves legally for sure.
Well, last night when I can't remember that senator. Was he from Minnesota? The one that got caught embezzling $500 million out of that USAID account?
Let me
look it up. I can't remember
Go ahead.
what state
I'll check for you.
what state he was from. I'm just saying there's a lot of corruption that's in Minnesota, and maybe, just maybe, it started catching up with them, and they're like, okay, and maybe the right people found out. Maybe, you never know, they could have been whistleblowers for all we know, because we hear lately about a lot of whistleblowers are coming forward. It could be the person working next to you. It could be the person in your bed. It could be the person that you're cheating on. It could be any of them. It could.
Hagar, are you ratting me out?
It absolutely could. It could be any of it. It could be anything that goes on with it.
But do you think that as far as the whistleblower, just kind of a side topic of that real quick,
sure.
Do you think that they are coming forward just to protect themselves?
Absolutely. They had they didn't grow their conscience overnight, let me tell you. Right. They had opportunity after opportunity. Fear set in because they knew the shit was getting close and stuff was going to be revealed. And
so
they right.
And that was murdered.
Exactly. Stuff getting it could be that thing. We need to find out more about this guy. Show me his picture again, the one where it's on the hunt. No, not the one that the actual guy. There it is. Wanted photo.
The wanted photo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Tip line. Okay, everyone, if you come across this man, the tip line information here and here is the number. Take it down. It's 877-996-6222. Male, 6'1", 220 pounds, brown eyes. This is the guy that they're saying was the shooter. So they're saying he was a Republican, this and that. He had King's. Thank you.
well, before I take that down, I wanted to say that they specifically asked people to focus on the hat because it's a very, very particular hat that's kind of, I know it looks like a typical cowboy hat, but apparently it's very, very unique. And
what's so unique about it, I wonder?
Huh?
I wonder what's so unique about it.
I don't know. Maybe it's that thing that goes around the rim. Maybe it's like a some kind of an Indian symbol or something. I don't know. They didn't say why. They just said focus on the hat.
It looked like there was like a darkness in the corner of the hat.
Yeah.
Now, it could be shadowing. I don't know, but it did look
Right.
like. But you guys, you can always look it up. But yeah, he's you said they had a shootout, which means dude got away.
Right.
Did he get away on foot? Did he get away in the cop car? How did he get away?
On foot. That's how they found the cop car. And the cop car evidently had more weapons and more ammo in it. And I can't recall if on that video it was mentioned, but there were a bunch of flyers in there in the cop car, promoting No King's Day.
Y'all, this is starting to look more like the pipe bomb that was planted at January 6th. Okay,
Yeah, they
think
said
about
they
it.
said exactly. They said when they engaged him, he ran back into the house, and then I guess I'm assuming probably ran out into the back door into the darkness.
Right.
And he left the cop car there, and that was probably one way they were able to identify them that quickly because the cops actually saw him.
They saw
You know,
him.
They
They
saw
saw
him?
him. They saw him. They engaged him.
I didn't know
and-
that.
Yeah.
How far of a distance? What were they in the house? Far
I
in the
don't know.
road?
I don't
You
know.
know what I'm
It-
saying? Those are things we got to find out. We just got.
Yeah.
And
for
there's
sure.
probably body cam footage too, I would imagine. Which has not been released, but
And
it
probably
has
won't
been
be for a
said that
minute.
it has been said that the cops that went from the first house where the people didn't die to the house where the people did die, they were already dead. And I don't
How
know.
far apart do you? We don't know the distance of how far apart these homes are. Do we?
I think it was like 5 to 7 miles, somewhere around there, 3 to 5 miles. They were close.
Okay.
Wait,
So
that's how far apart each home was?
yeah,
No, just from that home to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
yeah, from each residence. Let me say 10 miles. They were 10 miles apart. There's a map out there on it, but
Mhm.
it's probably around somewhere between 5 to 10 miles. You know, basically could even be less. I don't know, but right down the street. But how they got tipped off on that, I don't know. But the scary thing was that these people opened their door thinking they were
Absolutely.
a cop, and he just pulled a weapon on them and did what he did.
And that's what they saw.
It's too bad.
Absolutely.
Even though I'm MAGA and I'm not a big fan of Democrats, I do not. That's like not cool. Just go to the ballot. That's why we vote. If you don't like the policy, that's why we file grievances. You know, but taking people's lives, that's just that's uncalled for and unnecessary. And I mean, this is 2025. You know, I mean, we need to stop doing this kind of nonsense.
Absolutely, because I mean, but everybody's so conniving and you don't know what's the truth because we've been in this. And most people that would just hear this story today and hadn't been truth seekers and checking everything out, most people would take it for what it's worth, what it says. But sorry, I look deeper. You can say it, but I'm going to look past what you're saying and I'm going to go past it. Then I'm going to keep going past it because that's what you have to do. You have to continuously keep going past it. And sometimes till you're 5 foot deep in it. Seriously. Then you'll find the truth out. It just seems to me I'm getting the I'm getting the vibes that he was there, and out of the blue, they just wanted to go check on this house. Now, go with me here. Just wanted to check on this other senator, just because they had a feeling.
Yeah.
So they go. That was what was said. They had a feeling.
That's the story. You are
Yes,
correct.
that is this actual word for word. And so they went to their house.
Right.
And when they get there, they see him out there and they start shooting at each other. The cops are able to see his face just enough. No facial thing, no hat on, no nothing that would mess his face up or resemblance up. He runs back in the house, runs out the back door, and disappears into the early morning, when the sun's not up, and leaves the cop car there, a cop car full of weapons, no King's information in the car. What else was it? They said that he was
Which could have been planted, though.
bingo. It seems to me like, does it look staged? Does it feel staged? You guys can call us crazy or whatever. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. But we have learned over time, you do not take it for face value. You
Right.
look beyond
No,
it. Look
yeah,
beyond
and
it.
the thing exactly, and the thing is, something like this, it's kind of like an aircraft accident or something. You got to give things about a good 24, 48, 72 hours for things to kind of calm down and let the
Absolutely.
dust clear, dust settle. And the only thing that's unique about this case is this guy is still on the loose. Like, as we're doing this podcast,
That's my point.
he's still on the loose. It's not like he's been caught or killed or anything like that. He's still out there somewhere.
If you're watching, bro, we'll find you.
We'll put the word out. I'm trying to locate something because it ties into this. Before I speak about it, I want to have the video to show you proof of it. So it seems like it's just so freaking staged.
It does. A lot of this.
It just seems, and I mean, y'all call me crazy, whatever, that's fine. It just seems staged. I don't know what it is about it, but they had a feeling to go check on it.
I'm inclined to think that there were threats made, and maybe the cops knew about the threats. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean,
maybe they knew more than we did at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe they knew more than.
Exactly. And we're not talking about just like normal Joe Schmoes like us. We're talking about elected officials.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot more attention and priority put on that. One would think, but
right.
It's hard to say right now at this point,
It is very difficult to wrap our minds around, truthfully. It is for me.
And probably even more difficult for people that don't think this deep on stuff like that. And those are the people that call us crazy all the time. But I will tell you, and I give advice to those people, that thought you have in the back of your head or in the pit of your stomach, that right there is your body telling you something's not right. It may sound like a conspiracy theory, but it's not. So
yeah, exactly. And
listen to it.
I was looking this up real quick on that question about. So here's what it says. It says USAID official.
Yes.
And 3 corporate executives plead guilty to decade-long bribery scheme involving over $550 million in contracts.
I knew it was a lot.
So it doesn't say anything about a senator though. But it says 4 men, including a government contracting officer for USAID, and 3 owners and presidents of company have pled guilty for their roles in a decade-long bribery. Blah 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 blah. Okay, the guy who worked for USAID, his name was Roderick Watson.
Where have we heard that name?
Me too. Let me look.
I have heard that name, Roderick. Where the heck have we heard that name?
And then the other 3 guys, there's 3 other names before or that go on. Those must be the company owners. But the USAID guy is he's the government official, I guess. A government
likely.
contracting officer. So if that's the case, he's probably in the civilian, well, what the government calls civilians who are actively employed by the federal government. They're called GSs.
Okay.
So a government contracting officer. So it's not a contractor. It is a government official who works on government contracts.
Okay. And
Does
see,
that
when
make
you get
sense?
involved in the government contract things, that's where the waters get a bit murky. I mean, we got Hakeem Jeffries who put down that was like one of his jobs.
Yeah, I know.
That was literally one of his jobs. And I'm like, aren't you don't you work for the people? I mean, that's what I thought.
He's a strange cat. I tell you what, man. Him and Cory Booker, they're just odd.
They really are. And I
Like
had
what we were talking
downloaded that.
about- What we were talking about last night or the night before with the whole Padilla thing, and Cory Booker makes it into this big, like full-fledged, like what am I watching here? Like a play on Broadway or something.
Isn't that just a
They put him on his knees. He had to bow down. I'm just like, what?
That is just not right. That is just crazy. It really is. Okay, Heather, I had just sent you a video on the Telegram. I need you to play this. And this you'll understand. It will kind of make sense to some of the police car and all the other stuff. Because if it happens here, it could happen here. You know what I'm saying? A connection. If you can get it. Is it loaded yet? Is it loaded yet?
Let me look. We're 1 sec.
It's on your Telegram. Let's play that one. Let's cue that one up. Now, this happened 6 months ago, 5 months ago. This particular thing did. Welcome, everyone. Grandma, good to see you. I saw your message, Grandma. That is the same man. That's the same man. They just showed different pictures.
Is it the one with the lady pushing the semi?
No. It's a new one.
Okay, hold on.
No, it's a new one. It's just a man with a bonnet. He's got a bonnet thing on. Yeah, it's on there. It just may take a minute to load for you. I would be glad to do it, but for some reason, when I go to try to pull stuff and do that, it does not want to work for me. I'm not sure why.
And while Heather's pulling that up, I'll throw another curveball in there about this whole Minnesota case. What was it, Thursday or Friday, when Hochul, whoever the guy in Colorado is, and I'm sorry, Hochul, Pritzker, and Walls got grilled by like Nancy Mace and all that, and so that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was Thursday. So we fast forward into Friday night, Saturday morning, which is when this shooting occurred. So that's just another thing to think about, you know?
I mean, well, what if they had loose ends? I mean, we could go on and on and on about the what ifs and this and that, but I really would like to know more about this guy. Okay. I would really like to know about this guy. What else was he involved in? She said they had public meetings. What was their public meetings? He got his hands on a police car. He got his hands on a police uniform. He got his hands on probably a badge. Things of, are you ready, Heather? You're muted, Heather. You're muted.
It's about 2 seconds from being done.
Okay.
That's a good one, though, Crazy, because I'm sitting here wondering the same thing. I'm like, how did you get a hold of the police car?
I'm fixing to show you a possibility. A possibility. When I heard this story, I remember doing a story on this one a few months back. And I thought, wait a minute, they're going to try something of this nature. And behold, today, when they have their King's protest and what's been going on, that would make sense. It would make sense, just because I don't even remember what state it's in, but you probably know what state it said it. I don't remember. I watched so many things. I try to remember it. But is it ready, Heather?
It is. Ready?
Okay. Let's cue it up. I hear MAGA. Hi, MAGA.
Guys, the suspicious materials in question were apparently discovered by a contractor who was scheduled to service the units inside this apartment building. We talked to her, and what she says she found were pretty clear red flags that needed to be reported to authorities.
I had the master key, and I went in there, and I came across a lot of things, and I was like, that don't seem right.
Melissa Caraway works for an HVAC company that was scheduled to service units at 533 East 33rd Place in the Lake Meadows neighborhood. She says residents get advance notice that they'll be making the rounds and entering their units. When no one answered the door, she says she let herself in.
I came across some C4, some explosives, a rifle, a lot of fake IDs, a lot of fireman stuff, a lot of police force stuff, and it just looked like it was fake, you know.
She says the discovery happened around 10 a.m. in a unit on the 6th floor. She wasn't sure what to do at first, but says she called police about a half hour later. Video of the response shows law enforcement with ballistic shields, others with rifles. The entire building was evacuated, officers going door by door to tell residents they needed to leave.
I was afraid because I didn't know what was going on. So, again, I've been out here since like 11:15, 11:30, and I still don't have any information.
After several hours inside, CPD says its bomb unit cleared the scene as a precaution, determining the objects were safe and posed no threat. Police say someone was placed into custody on the scene, but no further information was provided.
You know, the bombing that happened in New Orleans and Vegas, so it kind of scared me. So I just want to call and check.
Certainly understand her concern. Police on scene began to leave this building around 1:30 this afternoon. Residents trickling back into the building shortly thereafter. This explosive scare again resulting in one person in custody, though it's not clear how that person is connected to what police discovered inside.
I think that's it.
So that was in January of this
Mhm.
year. Lake Meadows, it was in Chicago.
Okay. And there's been a lot of this popping up to where when they go in these homes and they find C4 explosives, but they're finding a lot of police issued vests, uniforms, badges. And, you know, they know that people look up to the police as safety, you know. And so if a police officer knocked on your door and was fully dressed in their blues and had their weapons on their side and just was them, and they had the knocker, they even spoke, you would trust that most of the time. Most people would, you know, people can say no, and absolutely you would. You absolutely would. So you got to get to that point to where, you know, now we have to be like, and if we question the police, then that's when they're going to think that we're just being assholes to them.
Right.
When we're truly just fearful and we just want to be cautious. You know, that kind of thing.
Well, you know, the old saying is, you know, if you're getting pulled over by an officer and you don't know, you're not really sure if it's real or not, go to the next safest place or whatever. But that used to be okay with the officers.
Right.
And now it's not anymore. They don't like it when you question them. And I've been a big proponent of supporting the police. But in recent days, I've seen a change in them as far as how they feel about us questioning them. And so it's a tough call.
It is. It is very tough. I just hope they find him. And of course, we will report on the findings of this Hey, Grandma, you remember that video, don't you? I think I lost an account because of that dang video. Exactly. Someone helped him, but they never released the information, Grandma, of who exactly was the person that actually helped him. And,
Right.
you know, things are getting wild out there. You know, they are getting completely wild out there. And so tonight we are going to we're going to take you on a little ride. How about that? We're going to take you on a little journey. A lot of people don't have TikTok. A lot of people don't have a lot of things. But before I do that, I wanted to play this one video. It still goes along with the story we're talking about Minnesota. But I'm going to throw you a little curveball in there. Now, this is a video I made earlier today, but I wanted you to hear it.
Okay.
Thank you, Heather.
Yeah, 1 second here. Let me grab it.
You're doing a phenomenal job. We're getting better, guys. We're getting better. Before long, we're going to rock this shit. We are going to be so badass. Yeah.
Oh, wait, let me.
It's not that one. That's the other one we're going to do later. It's the 249.
I am getting better.
No, I have the 249 one in our thing.
Yeah.
No, it's loaded in our thing. Yeah. You don't have to use TikTok.
A lot of things going on today. No King's protest. A murder took place. It is said that Vance Bolt was appointed by none other than Tim Walz in 2019. Bolter also served at the Workforce Development Council in 2016 under the governor. Allegedly, he posed as a police officer when he shot Senator John Hoffman and his wife in the Chaplin home early Saturday, leaving some seriously injured, before moving on to former Democrat House Speaker Melissa Hortman's home. It is believed that he slaughtered her and her husband, sources told the public. They also found inside many flyers of No King's protest and a manifesto of none other than 70 other politicians' names. So that took place this morning. But what else is going on today? That's right, Alex Soros and Huma Abedin kick off their wedding weekend with lavish rehearsal. Abedin is to marry financier Alex Soros. That is George Soros' son. A bunch of lefty powerful players are in attendance. Adima was ex-Clinton aide as well. Now, Huma Abedin is also Anthony Weiner's ex-wife. You know, the Weiner laptop, and he is a convicted PD3O. Alex Soros is involved in the political party of the Democrat Party heavily. The night Biden had, whatever you call that speech, Soros caught up with former President Obama and the Democrats, Mitch Gris, former Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Soros also donated more than $600,000 to Pelosi and her Democrat Party, also Congressional Campaign Committee as well. Oh, but he gave the stamp of approval at this time to none other than Jasmine Crockett as well, which he blessed her as a rising star to the party. He's a big part of the Federal Election Commission as well. Here we have Chuck Schumer himself kissing the ring of Alex Soros. All the Democrats he butters up to. Mark Kelly, Roy Cooper, Josh Shapiro, Ernest Swall, Hillary Clinton, Ruben Gallego. See, Alex Soros donated $175 million to the Democrats during the 2022 midterms. And we have midterms coming up. Come to find out, one of those little nonprofit, the money was being funneled through USAID with an NGO. Well, this Democrat Party is completely out of touch with reality. And while they are partying it up this weekend with the rehearsal dinner, I guess with the midterm elections arising after the murder system, I'm sure they have a lot to talk about. Country crazy out.
Wild.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild. You know, it's especially upsetting to hear Roy Cooper's name on there. Was Josh Stein on there too? I bet he's on there too.
He might have been in something. I didn't recall his name, but there was some more heavy hitters or lefties there that were doing it. So they all got a big invitation to it. But Jasmine Crockett, see, that would explain. When Biden gave that, whatever you want to call it, he gave, that was the night he blessed, like, you got to get the okay from Alex Soros, because you know his dad, George Soros, he'll literally tell you he's God. He will tell you he's God. He's an evil man, evil. But he's getting subpoenaed here recently. So I can't wait to see if he'll show up, but he probably won't, because he's on the run from other countries. I mean, they say if they ever get him, they're going to hang him. They're going to put him on a firing squad.
Please do. Do you think that there's any chance that Mike Gallagher from Palantir was in there too?
Actually, the name was on there.
Ooh, I didn't even hear that one.
That one was on there.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's all connected.
So just a little cleanup. This is on Reuters. He's still on the loose. The two homes are 5 miles apart. I want to make sure I'm quoting facts here. The two homes are 5 miles apart. He talked with his roommate, I guess. The guy, they'd been like roommates for like a year. His roommate said he got a text around 6 a.m. saying, "I might be dead soon." This is what Reuters is saying. Let's see what else. Distance. Both of those families, victims, whatever, they were both on that manifesto.
Wow.
And let's see what else.
So he was going to go even further, not just the husband and wife. He was going to go and get their families as well, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it says the list found in the vehicle abandoned by the suspect contained about 70 names, which you went over, including abortion providers, lawmakers, and other states, citing law enforcement sources. Officials said the Hortmans and the other victims, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, were on the list as well. What was the other thing? I was going to read. So when the police encountered him at the lady's house, Hortman's house, they rolled up. I guess the police car was sitting in the driveway with its lights on. And I don't know who started firing first. It doesn't say it, but they ended up in a gun battle. Like I was saying earlier, he ran back into the house and then I guess went out a window or a back door or something. But it's my understanding that he'd already killed them. I think he was probably on his way out when the real cops arrived. That's just an assumption of mine. And they found him kind of as he was walking out from what he'd just done, and they engaged him. So that's what we know right now.
It has gone batshit crazy, Grandma. It has gone batshit crazy.
Could the cops have just let him go on purpose?
Well, it sounds to me like so I saw a picture of that cop car, and it didn't. It looked like a cop car, but it had a city name on it that didn't have to do with either one of the cities. One city was called like Brook Park or something like that, and the other one was called Champlain. So this cop car, it looked like a cop car, but it didn't resemble like these city names. So maybe that's what queued him off, because the way this article reads, it makes it sound like like I said, I don't know who fired first, but they kind of like, if I could guess, they caught him in the act of leaving, like the crime had already been committed, and somebody started opening fire on somebody.
But the key thing here is they're at one crime scene. They got to focus so much and pull what they can there, especially with the King's protest going on and everything. And they got to focus on this. But during the time that they're focusing, they're going to say, well, I just got a feeling we need to go check on
right
over here. Now, it could be because these were senators that were in the same neighborhood. Maybe it was a neighborhood that many lived in or a few lived in, and they may have thought, if he hit this one, he possibly might go there. We'll give him that. Because if, I've done corrections. I did security for many years. So, you kind of get that thought mentality. So I can understand if they did that, but I do think we're probably going to have a lot more come from this.
Me too.
I really do. I think we're going to get
Yeah, it's not looking good, that's for sure.
We'll have to wait and see if they catch him. How do they catch him? Question is, the last time something like this happened, remember, they didn't catch the assailant alive. He was shot. So he couldn't voice. The last time something happened.
Or if they close in on him, he just offs himself, you know.
That could be too, but I tend to think more on the other side of it, that it goes much deeper than this, and we're going to get some facts if they find him, and then it'll be yet another one of those stories that in 50 years all the truth will come out. So, and our kids will speculate, oh, maybe this happened.
We won't even be here, but hopefully my great grandkids at that point in time will say, you know, Granny used to do this. I bet she talked about this or something.
I make sure I tell my son all of it, so that if that happens, he's like, okay, yeah, Mom talked about this.
That's
awesome. That's why I'm glad you record. That's why I'm glad you record these podcasts. So if I don't make it out the door one day, at least my kids will know. I mean, not just this, but
no, but it's
that's what Dad was talking about. You know?
It's like a footprint left behind.
Yep. My dad did that for me, but obviously back then you could record on vinyl records and cassette tapes, but we didn't. Everything was written down, but he would tell me all the time, listen, in 40, 50 years, they're going to talk about this. Like he would talk all the time about the sky and the whatchamacallit in the sky that they throw out of there. What's it called? Chemtrails. He would talk about chemtrails. He would talk about the moon. He talked about all that stuff all the time. And so now that I'm older and my eyes opened up, he's like, yeah, we all talked about this. So
I know my grandson's that way. He's 15 and he watches my YouTube, which we don't let him watch everything. Some of the stuff I get kind of crazy on there. But he watches, he asks questions. So he's a smart young man. This generation of young men and children, there are some, if they're taught right, and if the parents homeschool them, they're gonna be okay. But you send them to public school, you're gonna have a problem. They're setting it up for the next generation to where it's just like it recycles itself,
right?
To some degree. Well, we're going to switch gears here for a minute, and we want to see a little bit of what's going on in the rights today. But I come across this video, and I call it Comedy Hour because, I mean, the way people act and they say no riots are going on, it's just protest. I mean, who wants to go out there and get maced? Who wants to go out there and, I mean, and what kind of change? Yeah. But what kind of change does your protest really do? You got to have numbers. You got to have some massive freaking numbers to do that, to make that change and that difference. Let's watch. Now we're going to continue on, and we're going to roll on into the next one. Horses,
right?
Where was that one?
I have no idea. I just got it before we come on here, and I hadn't had a chance to really look at anything with the protest. So I'm seeing a lot of things like you guys for the first time. I have no idea where these are at.
Well,
And, if someone gets hurt, no, it's not funny. It is not. But I mean, just imagine putting a little funny music to those videos.
yes. Oh my gosh, tomorrow for sure. I often wonder if you take a cop's bike, do you get charged the same as if you took the cop car?
Ooh, that's a good question. Grand
And
Theft
then-
Auto.
Right. And then remember, way back in the 1800s, if you stole a man's horse, you got hung. or cop,
Absolutely.
right? So if you take the horse of a cop, do you get charged like the others, or do you get hung?
That's a good question. Maybe that's something we can come back on next time and answer for people and let them know.
I
Hey,
wanna
because
know.
word on the street is they have funding, and they are going to do this once a month.
I
And,
know.
that was interesting. Okay, it's Democrat pushed and paid actors. These people are getting paid to do this, and then some of them, they don't even know why they're doing it. They just think it's cool. And I can go live, I can stream it, I can be a part of something. Yeah, go out there and be a part of something and get your ass knocked down. Go ahead, go right on out there and be a part of something and get maced. Go on out there and do it. If you've never been maced before, I've been maced. It's part of the criteria. And that's not any fun. That's not any fun. And getting tased, you'll flop like a fish. I did.
What's really funny is we talked about this over the past couple of days, right? The advertisement for getting paid for the Democrat side was $6,500 to $12,500 per week if you participated in these protests and riots, right? Well, on the Republican side, because there are some of those too, they got paid $200, right? And I saw a guy, and they were meant to go out and be antagonistic. And I saw a Republican guy out there antagonizing people, antagonizing the Democrats or the people that were doing the protests or whatever. And he hit every single person on the street, every single one. And he talked shit about every one of them, right down to their looks, like everything. And this guy was not a looker, right? Sorry, but he was, and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? He was not a looker, but they made fun of him, and he just rolled with it and kept going and kept going. And he hit everybody on the street. And I thought to myself, he got paid $200 to go be an antagonist out there. And the other people we know are paid, they got paid $6,500 to $12,500 to do this. Yet he's put more effort into this. He put more effort than any Democrat I saw over today. He put all his everything into this. It was wild. For
I guess you need to make it count. But Heather, you're going to show us a few. Are they still live?
Let me see.
I got a couple if you need help.
I would like to. We're going to peek in on some
It
TikTok
looks
live.
it looks like the LA one. It didn't fiddle out right at 8 p.m. But there's basically no one there. There's another one going on in Denver. It's called. I'm just going off what I'm seeing on TikTok. There's actually not a lot of live broadcasts, but this guy's name is Scorpio Moon Guy. Now this one looks. It's not doing it yet, but there's a bunch of people just gathering like in the middle of the street. So there's cops on one end and on the other end, but Scorpio Moon Guy.
See if you can find that one, Heather. We're gonna peek in on some of you content creators on TikTok that are live out in this complete mess, and we're gonna see exactly what's going on. Because it's pretty interesting. A lot of people don't even watch TikTok. So we'll bring it to you. That's what. Yeah, that law went into effect, Grandma, not too long ago, that there would be no more lynching like that. I did hear that Florida did have their stuff canceled, but I think that was just a joke, honestly, because the officers came out and said, "Run their asses over, run their asses over." They did say that. They did tell them, "Hey, just run their asses over." We do have a video of that this one. It was the very first one I saw this morning, and I laughed so hard. Are you ready?
Scorpio Moon guy.
Yeah, Scorpio Moon guy.
Yeah, I don't see him.
It's
Is he live right now?
SCORPIO. Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Scorpio, like like a scorpion.
Like a Scorpio, yes. SCORPIO. No spaces. Moon, like the moon. Guy, no spaces.
I'm not seeing him.
Guy or die?
Guy, like GUY.
Let me try looking a different way.
Well, that is completely crazy. While you're doing that, I'm going to see if I can plug up.
I found him.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, somebody said in the comments.
All right.
Funny.
Let's roll in.
He goes, it looks like the battle of the jobless.
Well, let's roll in and let's take a peek.
No, Capitol. We're going to the Capitol.
That's it.
Okay.
You got it, Heather.
All right, I'm gonna run it though. Let me get the GPS real quick. I'm
gonna step away real quick, country.
GPS.
Okay.
Hold on. How far are we?
Oh, they're doing GPS.
I'm trying to push to the Capitol. I don't know where they're going.
This they're going to Capitol.
I guess so.
All right, hold on. This one's about to die. Give me a sec. 8 minutes on a car. 27 minutes walking. I can make that in 10. All right, hold up. We keep going all the way down the street and down Broadway. Let's go. We out.
Let's go.
We out to the Capitol. Let's go.
Oh, so they're gonna go on foot to the Capitol.
I feel like I'm doing it myself.
We out to the Capitol. There's mad cops. Hold on. It's gonna be like 10 minutes. Give me a second.
Oh my goodness, Jolly Good Ginger is live.
Is that a protest?
I don't know, but he's live.
Okay, I'll look in a second.
It's him and a couple of guys talking.
I want to see if I can make the screen bigger.
I don't know what they got going on here, but
he's making me dizzy.
Oh, they're out.
I'm just saying.
No, Jolly is just baiting.
Is he? Well, there's nothing interesting going on with him. He says it'd take him 10 minutes to get there. It'd take 8 minutes if he got an Uber, but 10 minutes if he had to walk there. So he's already tired. He went a minute.
I got my headphones in so I can hear you guys. These guys are so unorganized.
Yo, that tear gas got me.
Oh, we got tear gas.
That must be why I didn't see that. That must be why they're walking away now.
All right, we out.
You're going to the Capitol, didn't you hear?
Yeah, but they were somewhere else. They were somewhere else, and they must have gotten gas. And then, because I noticed they were moving. I did notice when I first joined the live, they were moving away from the.
No, he needs water.
I probably missed that one.
He's asking for water.
We'll watch him for a second while we look for a few more that are really interesting. It has been interesting to watch all day. Like I watched the LA ones a little bit earlier, and I was messaging these two, and the guy was being hit with rubber bullets, and he went and picked up the rubber bullets and showed us what they look like, and then he got tear gassed 3 times and then
Dang.
pepper sprayed twice. And he kept going. He was like right there on the front line. He was like, I got this. I got this.
That is just that is crazy. That is crazy.
Oh, here's somebody in a wheelchair.
At the protest?
Uh-huh. This guy's in a wheelchair. That's fun and different.
I'd be afraid that I'd get hurt even more or harmed.
Oh, Punks is live in Denver.
Oh no.
Yes.
There's one in Vegas now that just popped up.
That is so crazy.
Punks. Let's see.
It's going to take him longer than 8 minutes or 10 minutes to get there.
If you want another one, Heather, it's Kim Moth YY.
Kim.
Or you can just look up live or in your search bar put live protests right now.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I do.
That's what I did too. And which one am I looking at?
This one is called it's a protest in Vegas. It's
Okay.
called ITSKIMOTHYY.
Can we detour to Punks for just a second?
Sure, yeah, whatever. I'm just throwing them out there as I'm seeing them.
Okay. You guys got to see this.
Oh no, you got to go right now to this one. You got to go to Tao. Is he getting something to eat with the cops?
Oh, is that Teo you're talking about?
Yeah, there's some cops in this restaurant.
He was the one that was. They all got kicked off the street. LA got shut down pretty fast. It looks like.
He's in there
earlier, and it was when we were pre-gaming, and I said, well, the curfew starts in about 30 minutes. They didn't stop right at 8.
Well,
but about 20 minutes later.
He's in a restaurant, which the cops are laughing with him, so I don't think it's a big deal. I think he's doing okay.
Let's go to Punks. I want you to see his. I don't know if you guys know about Punks.
I don't.
Okay. So let me introduce you to Punks. Here.
Is he at a riot right now? I mean, a protest?
Yeah, he's in Denver. He's in Denver. And the deal with him is he is an antagonist by nature. He does it for his living. That's how he earns his living on TikTok, is antagonizing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Now I know who you're talking about.
Get the fuck out of their house and let me come out.
Yeah.
He's like real brave. Yelled him from 500 feet away. Get the fuck out of your house and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
He's
real
in
brave
Denver.
for just telling me that
Let me
behind the
see if
street.
there's any bit of interaction.
Okay. I'm here, motherfucker. I'm about it.
I'm about it.
I mean, she's not even seen you that day, you know.
Like you put in
Thank you. Here they come. Fuck that. Here they come.
He looks tired. He looks tired. I think, honestly, people are. What I wanted to see is if people would be obeying the
curfew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like the one in LA did. Like I said, it was right at 8 p.m., but they scattered pretty quick.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing this now. Everybody's getting in their vehicles, like, so maybe people are actually The thing is, though, you have to wait the later in the wee hours of the night in the morning. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people.
Right.
Yeah, this one in Vegas, they're just like walking down this, trying to figure out where they're at. We used to live in Vegas. They're somewhere on the strip. I just can't tell where. They're just walking down the sidewalk holding signs.
Yeah, that's all I'm
But
saying. Is
they're just gonna, the people in Vegas, they're just gonna blend into the tourists. People walk down the strip.
Right?
You know?
They are. They most definitely are.
That's a freaking
I wonder,
lately.
do these people like take showers or like, what are you doing? You know?
I don't know, but I don't see any even on the news right now. Like if something was late breaking and was happening right now, that somebody would say something for sure.
Well, it's actually good to see that they're you know, abiding by and obeying. I mean, I see people here waiting on their Ubers, and they're all it's kind of like they went to a festival, you know,
Like
and they
got out of a concert or something.
yeah, that's what it's looking like. It truly is. Actually, I found one. Go to Crafty Gin.
Crafty.
Yeah, all one word. Crafty with a Y, Gin, 2 N's and an underscore.
GINN?
No, GENN.
Okay.
Looks like they're still. I'm not sure where that says though. Maybe they'll say where it is. Somebody in the comments are saying, "All right, goodbye, y'all." Hell, I don't know. It looks like it's a protest.
Did you say J or G?
JENN.
Sorry.
With an underscore. There you go.
Sounds like they're dancing.
That's why I said I don't know if it's a party.
We got comments, so let's see. Oh, good night, Grandma.
They seem to be doing fine. It's good to know that, you know, there's not something.
I wonder if they're going to be doing this tomorrow.
We're right here.
Or,
Remember, all the way through the 26th. Trump, your mom should have swallowed.
Well, there is one last video I would like to show, though. It's that one at the truck. The one with the truck. This one I woke up to. I saw this. Well, we got a couple of funny videos to play after it. And I was like, it's the people's IQs. That's all I gotta say.
This is the one with the lady in the
truck.
The truck, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me
The one
grab
with the truck. I tried many times to load it, but it's like it's a little bit long, but it is well worth watching it because you're like, and I believe this is at an ICE detention center. This lady went up to an ICE detention center, and I didn't know. I don't understand what she was thinking. I mean, it's like this was her so heartfelt. It was something she just had to do, but she wasn't going to let go. It kind of reminded me, you know, when Jack and Rose at the Titanic, when I seen her holding on to it for so long, I actually kept saying, "Don't let go, don't let go, don't let go." And
never
then
let go, Jack. Never let go.
Let me see if I can get it to do it.
Can you get it to play?
Yeah, I think I can get it to play. So let me.
It might take a second to download because it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It might be. Well, while you're doing that, I am going to show you what Mel Gibson had to say about Gavin Newsom, because you know he is a California resident.
Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass have already proven their incompetence and poor leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, as we experience rampant lawlessness and civil unrest, it's never been more clear they're unable to respond effectively and responsibly during calamity. Whether it's sheer incompetence or outright malevolence, the reality is stark. California's in a state of turmoil, and I ask my fellow Angelenos, why are Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass still in office? How much more of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate? It's time to take back our community and our state and put the power and the privilege in the hands of competent leaders whose goals are to protect us and the way of life this nation was founded upon and promises to offer. That's all.
Oops.
He seems so sincere about that. I mean, his house burnt. I mean, he lost his home.
Yeah.
I believe he did lose his home. How much longer on it?
It's ready.
It's ready? Okay, let's roll that beautiful footage.
Let's get it.
It's so funny. Sorry, Grandma, I have to check your comment.
No! Let my people go! Let my people go! Let them go! Let them go! Let them go! Let them go!
Hey, get off the truck! Get off the truck!
Let my people go! Let my people go! Let my people go!
Y'all gotta move. Y'all gotta move. Y'all gotta move.
No! You won't take my fucking table! Don't take my fucking table! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Look out! Look out! No! I can't! Don't touch me! Don't kill me!
Okay, get out!
Get the fuck out! Stop! 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 You're gonna run around her! Stop! You're gonna run around her!
Okay.
You gotta go! I'm not getting you!
Stop
Marissa, you gotta run out! No, please don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! I'm a person! I'm a fucking person! Don't fucking kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't fucking 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 kill me! Let my people go! Let my fucking people go! Let my people go! Let my people go! Let my people go! No!
Let go.
Let my people go! Let my people go! Let my people go! These are parents! Let my people go! Their kids waiting outside! Their kids waiting outside, sir! Their kids waiting outside to get along! Just let them
You're
go!
separating families.
These are our people!
You're separating
These are our
families.
parents! This is our community! These are our community! This is our people! These are immigrant workers! And you know they feed this country! We will not let this country! No! 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 People! Let them go! Let them go! Doesn't he hurt you? Where's your humanity? Doesn't he hurt you? You know you kidnapping people! Doesn't he hurt you? Doesn't he hurt you? Where's your humanity? Open up our bodies! This is our people, our community being taken away! What are you doing? Let them out! Let them
Get back! Move back! Get back!
I need the name of doctor who gave the order to drive past the speed limit.
Just be careful and get off the street. Be careful, all right?
You guys getting your toes run over? I'm telling you to get back. I'm telling you to get back. Get back. Get back. Off the vehicle. Get back. Get back. Off the vehicle.
All right, we're good, guys.
Is that you, Zoe? Is that you, Zoe? Is that you? Is that what she was saying? And she had a bald head. Is that you, Zoe?
This is crazy, man. I mean, I don't know what's going on in these people's minds. I just don't. It is absurd. It is absurd. I'm all about fighting for their cause and stuff. If it was for, I would love to see that energy for human trafficking. I would love to see protests for human trafficking. I would love to see this energy for that.
Were those ICE buses? I think those were ICE buses.
Yeah, it was an ICE detention center, and they were taking them out. And then she's like, no, let my people go. But I would love to see this energy. I mean, have you ever heard them do a protest for human trafficking, for saving children? So I have not 1 ounce of shit for you, because the children should come first. Children are off limits. You want to go after illegals. That's it. Illegals. That's it. But you won't do America first. You won't take care of what is here on American soil, what is happening to the kids and the women here on American soil. You want to worry about third world countries. Do you ever think that might be what the problem is? Get your brains, get that IQ. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I've never seen such crap. And I believe half these people would sell their own kids.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have seen protests, to combat child trafficking, both in this country and out of this country, but
not like this
level.
Never.
A few people here and a few people there. It's nothing like.
I have never seen where Walmart would pay for any of it. I've never seen any big company. Have you ever seen any huge company put $300, $400, $1 billion into? Can you imagine if they actually did that, and we had the help with the authorities, and we had ISIS help and everything, how beautiful we could make the United States.
Right.
Seriously. And how we could save these kids.
We could. A bunch of them.
But no, that's not going to happen.
It's insane. It's insane. Like that lady right there. I mean, I'm like, have you guys lost your damn minds? I mean,
right.
I don't.
I think some of the lefties saw them looking like her, acting that way, and probably thought, is she okay?
Or she got away with it. Maybe I should do it too. Because then that big old guy I told you about yesterday, he did the same thing in front of one of the ICE buses. He's like, I got this.
But my favorite thing is when they're being pushed away or told to, they'll leave their arms up. They'll hold their arms up and dare you to push them. See, right. Tennessee and 5 other states, I believe it is, we run your asses over. If we feel threatened and you come at us,
right?
Don't think I won't press the gas pedal.
Pretty much.
I might just try to break your leg and try to stay away from the other extremities and shit.
I'm trying to, have, good thoughts and remind myself about humanity. But when people go to that length, I'm like, come on, come on,
It is. It's hard to, it really is.
Yeah.
Here's a video of where they found 25 illegals being smuggled in, which is quite interesting.
Which one is that?
It's the 139. The 25 illegals.
Oh, there it is. Sorry.
Hello, how are you? Doing okay? Is it in park? Okay. It's still right there for me. So what happened?
All phones got up, and then he said that I needed him.
Okay. You just don't remember? From Houston? Or you headed where? Oh, you headed to Houston? Pero vienes de dónde? Alton. Oh, ¿qué estás haciendo allá? You got it back there? Okay. You might be seeing? Okay, we'll see in a little bit. She drove from Houston to the valley just to pick up 2 mattresses. And she's got them in the back of the truck. And the truck is locked. They're in there? Okay. How many, qué tantos gente ahí está adentro?
People.
Okay. ¿Tantos más? ¿Mande? ¿Uno? ¿Estás bien, mijo? ¿Estás bien? Sí, okay? Hey, Charles, 1550 Live. Can you get EMS this way? We got young kids too. Agua. Can I get agua? Agua. Sálgase. Sálgase.
Aún viendo cuántas personas éramos, porque yo estaba literalmente a un lado.
So there was 25 in the back of that, and said she went to Houston to pick up 2. Okay, this brings me to this part. Abrego Garcia had pleaded not guilty yesterday, and his defense was trying to talk about the whistleblowers that's come forward. Now, these are whistleblowers supposed to be under protection. So they go on to talk about that he believes that the whistleblowers are compromised because one of the whistleblowers is incarcerated, and they believe that he would just say anything to get out. Well, that's what you want. That's called tag, bitch. You're it. You know, tag. Let's play tag. I'm gonna do you know what I'm saying? That's the terminology I always use. But then the prosecutor came back and said that is just a farce. That's just a small leadway that they're trying to use for his defense because they have nothing else. I just don't understand how these people don't understand. Regardless, he's getting deported. Did they think that they could make such a big stink that the American people would, or the senators and stuff would give in and say you could stay here? No. He was trafficking. He said he was not. He said he just picked up some people, but he lied. Had $1,400 in cash in an envelope, and a van that they purposely put another seat in, and said there was 9 men in it. Well, the video I saw, and I live in Tennessee, the woman was sitting in the front seat. There was a woman sitting in the front seat. And apparently he'd been doing this since 2016 as his job, transporting back and forth. And apparently these whistleblowers are cousins. So to be protecting the whistleblowers, they've given out quite a bit of information. They're incarcerated and they're cousins. And I'm sure Abrego knows who it is. So keep an eye on that. If we hear about 2 cousins that were going to be a part of this case unalived, then we're going to know. Because they went and fought for this man like it was going to save their life. Like it was, you know, it was going to say it was part of something. I don't know what, but that went on too. That went on as well. So
Look, to keep an ear out for that one, just like the also the one with the gunshots heard at the Salt Lake City one. And also, I think it was late in the day at LA, right?
I think so.
Shots that rang out. So there's a few things that we need to keep an eye on. If we hear about that, we need to pay close attention to.
Right. Exactly. Well, we got a couple of I've got this one video. We'll do the funny one last. this one, I was not expecting the reaction that I got. I wasn't expecting this mother's reaction. I thought this was going to be another video of, the normality of it, of complaining about something. But this is a mom. This is a hardcore mom. I can't believe it. I just cannot believe it.
You make me sick. You're telling me that all the exercises and everything that you guys made my son do was so that he could go to Japan and 2 months in be homesick to the point where he is begging to come home? And y'all don't make him man up? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Gary.
What was that all about?
Her son is in boot camp, and he went to I think it was Marines, and she was like, now he's getting transferred out to Japan, and he's been in Japan a couple of days, and now he's homesick. She's pissed that they wasn't tough enough on him to toughen his ass up to quit making him act like a little, what.
Well, maybe she should.
I wasn't expecting that, though. I thought she would be griping about something that happened to her kid, but she's like, man, you guys wasn't hard enough on him. What the hell is wrong with you?
Right?
I really like that one.
That was a little worrisome. Could you imagine what it would mean? I mean, I don't know if she's doing that part for show, but if she's like that in real life, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, we got this video Heather had posted. Heather, we'll let you take this one.
Is this the one with the guy in the gong?
Yes.
So he was trying to mellow out before the protests, and he had a big old gong.
Thank you, Heather. It was funny. I guess
that guy needs to be out there at the end of the night. Right?
Absolutely.
I'm relaxing my mind now.
It hurt my ears. I'm gonna be
really.
I'm gonna be honest. It hurt my ears. It was just a bit too. It was a sequence of it.
Really.
It hurt my ears. Yeah.
Oh,
but
wow.
I've got these on. It was not very comforting to me. Actually, one night to get off topic, I got on YouTube and I wanted to listen to frequencies one night.
Yeah.
People had told me that they would make you calm, they would make you sleep better, and stuff. So I did that. I slept. I actually fell asleep with it on, and I had it on repeat. And I woke up the next day and I thought, okay, this is good. I feel better. I feel pretty good. So that day, I felt pretty good. Well, the next day I got up, my vertigo was so jacked up. I could barely stand up.
Right.
So I do not, it hurt. It was horrible. It was like if I just moved my eyes the wrong way, I felt so off balance. It was horrible. I'd never felt like a fishbowl, I guess, but not, I guess in a way. A fishbowl kind of or not.
I found one that I know we're wrapping it up, but there's one you might want to keep an eye on tonight because there was somebody hurt at one of the protests in Riverside, and now the people are pissed. So I'll show you the page, and then you can close this out, country, however you want to close this out. So give me a second here.
All right. Is this the one that got shot that you're talking about?
No, it just happened.
Okay. You guys can go to it if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
We'll show you a little clip of it.
Yeah. Noticitas 909-951. And it's in Spanish, but All right.
Oh, there's something going on outside my apartment.
Like a helicopter or something?
No, I hear loud screaming and voices.
Oh.
Y aún así dicen que no, que los desmadrosos, los desastrosos somos nosotros. Que los que hacemos desastres, que los que hacemos crímenes, que los que destruimos, que los que ocasionamos todo el caos, supuestamente. Eso fue lo que dijeron, que era la gente que andaba protestando.
It's in Spanish, but
I have no idea what he's saying. Truthfully, it just looks like a bunch of people walking.
Right, and that's okay. They so the ambulance just left like 3 minutes ago. That's why I was watching it just a little bit. Left like 3 minutes ago with the person. It appeared that the person was gonna be okay, but they worked on the person for a little while, so something happened. And then they got angry. Now they're walking, but they were angry and storming the cops just a little bit ago. So
Okay.
keep an eye on this page because obviously they've ignored the curfew. This is in Riverside, California. They also
That's not LA County. That's actually Riverside County.
I know, but Riverside had
Did they have a curfew? 'Cause
yeah,
The only curfew I was aware of was LA County.
yeah. So keep an eye on this one too.
Okay. I'll
What's the name
definitely
of
do
that one?
that.
Huh?
What's the name of that one?
This one is IE Noticitas 909-951. IE Noticitas. Noticias. Sorry, Noticias. IENOTICIAS 909951. That's the zip code.
Oh, okay. So if you guys want to go watch that, go watch that. But I appreciate everyone for tuning out, everyone on X, Rumble, YouTube, and on Kick, and on Facebook. I hope you guys have a blessed night. And I thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Stay safe, and we'll find out tomorrow if these protests end tonight, or will this be a reoccurring situation that continues to happen? Because eventually it will get out of hand. It will.
Right.
Yeah,
It will
or
go.
it's going to go one way or the other, or it'll just like go away. They're going to be like, they're going to realize we're not accomplishing anything except we're making ourselves look like a bunch of idiots.
Absolutely. And that will be, well, that's going to be exactly what it is.
Right.
You know, it's going to get
That's how
out
they
of
look to me, just going through this. That was a good call on just like showing the podcast, showing the community, like, okay, we're looking at all these different lives. I mean, I'm sure there's probably going to be a violent one here and there somewhere, but
So
to me, it looks pretty boring. It's just like people walking down the street.
right.
Well, they've made it like a festival. It's like the Bonnaroo that we have in one of the towns far from here. It's a 3-day thing where bands come. It's $1 billion industry. It started out as farmland that someone wanted just to have people come on and be like a Woodstock, and it grew. Well,
Right.
yesterday they canceled it. They said it's because we are under tornado warnings tonight. But I haven't seen any rain. I haven't heard any thunder.
I don't know either. I thought we were supposed to have storms tonight too. I'm not sure, but keep an eye out next Saturday for the petition protests. So some of the imagery, the most dramatic imagery that you will see from today's stuff will show up next Saturday.
Because of what are they calling that? What are they calling it?
They're calling it photo petition.
Photo petition. Okay.
Photo
Keep an
petition.
eye out for that. You'll understand it. They take pictures of gore, blood, and then they're going to come out and do a photo petition.
Right. And it'll get people riled up because they're like, we didn't know it was that violent. And it sets off the second wave. So praying that it doesn't, but that was the plan.
Well, we know how it goes. We'll keep an eye out for this shooter, and find out really what went down. Thank
Right.
you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys. Heather, thank you for so much. Gravel, as always, very good to see you. I know
Thank you, guys.
y'all probably dive in on TikTok and find some crazy shit that's going on.
For
I
sure.
don't know. I might actually. I'm watching this. It's on Netflix. Remember that? What did they call it? That it was called the Titan or something. It was that
Yeah.
sub that was going to go down and look at the
Yeah.
Titanic, and it like fell apart, and everybody, or all 5 people died.
Yeah.
There's an hour and 50 minute documentary on it. I'm about 30 minutes into it, so I'm probably going to finish that one up. It looks really good.
Well,
Do
maybe
they
we'll check that
include
out.
the memes that came afterwards?
The memes, no, they didn't.
Do you remember those were really good?
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was insane.
It was.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you. And as always, everybody, pray for our country, pray for our president, and stay safe out there and keep your head on a swivel.
Oh, and happy birthday, Army. Happy birthday, President Trump. Happy Flag Day. That was a great parade. That far outdated anything I saw in these dumb protests today.
You guys can go back on Rumble on Country Crazy 73 and you can watch the parade. It is recorded on there. And you can go back and rewatch any of the episodes. But tonight, thank you guys for being here with me. This is our 150th episode. So very great to be with you guys. Look forward to doing many more. Country Crazy out. Well, it's not going.